What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick from MWK Pop, and I want to welcome you back to the third episode of my Mama 2015 category coverage, where we just talk about the nominees for as many categories as I possibly can get in before the actual award ceremony. So having already covered the best male and female groups in general, as you know, like veteran groups, now it's obviously time to move on, or logically time to move on to the groups that made their debuts in 2015. So we're going to start with the best female rookie group, and this is for me a pretty difficult category to just make any sort of decision or pick one over another, because a lot of these groups are very, very similar as far as what they have done this year. And they're just, it's really, 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 really close. So yeah, and those groups, just in case you didn't know, just to remind you, got CLC, Twice, Lovelyz, GFriend, and Oh My Girl are the nominees. And those are definitely, like I said, very, very similar it's similar to each other. So as usual, we're just going to be talking about these groups and how they relate and compare to each other, because that's kind of the way that it has to be done. And then we're going to go and just like knock off groups that I'm not going to vote for. And then the final group that we talk about is going to be the group that gets my vote. So let's get started with the first group that I'm going to eliminate from contention for my votes, which is Twice. And this doesn't specifically reflect any ranking specifically as far as like 5 through 1 or anything like that. So I'm not going to specifically say that I rank Twice last or any of these other groups, above or below them, but this just is in relation. And for me, Twice is the first group that I really kind of threw out of consideration, mainly because their debut song and album have quite a few points in it where it sounds a little bit rough as far as like the arrangement of the music and other stuff like that. Just there's some parts that just don't sound quite right, and I think could have used a little bit more work to get just a little bit more polished before they made their release, so that it sounded really, really awesome. Like, their debut song is a lot of fun to listen to. The first two verses especially in the song are really, really rough, and if they'd worked on that a little bit more, I think that it could have been fantastic. The album is pretty good, but again, there's some songs that are really, really rough as far as, how some of the points and, the instrument stuff and the way that the lines have been arranged and stuff like that. It just sounds rough around the edges. You got a really, really good product in there. I see Twice as being a really good group. Just their debut song was a little bit rougher and not as, refined and finished as I would have liked or expected for a group coming out of, JYP. But that's just, my personal opinion. But, despite me saying that, like, for them, it's a good comeback. It's got the energy and stuff like that you would expect from a girl group. They come out with a bit of a different or an interesting sort of combination of visual styles for their music video. People love them, and, there's obvious reasons why people love them. And I cannot deny that. So, I see Twice as being a group that is going to be much, much better and be much more impressive to me for their first comeback. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. The second group is CLC, and CLC, unfortunately for me, despite them being a group from Cube, which is my favorite company, I kind of have to knock them out as well. Because CLC, they made their debut, which was a really, really pretty memorable song and album. And then their second one kind of was not so much for me. In fact, I kind of forgot that I'd even filmed a video for it, or that it even was an album that existed. So that kind of goes to show that their, the song and the music video weren't quite, memorable, didn't have quite as much of an impact. And, their music in general this year has been really, really good. It's been really solid. And they've had a pretty decently successful debut. You wouldn't be expecting them to be just exploding everywhere just basically because, Cube is not the biggest group or is not the biggest company. They're bigger than a lot of others, but they're not really considered to be top tier just yet, if they ever will be. But they've got some really good groups. CLC definitely is going to be the girl group of the future for them, without a doubt. and it's going to be really, really interesting to see what they've got in 2016, because they have a really, really good foundation built right now, a really, really good one, and then they're just going to keep continuing to build on that. I know that they're going to keep building on that and improving as time goes on. The next group that I have to eliminate is Lovelyz, and Lovelyz is basically the same exact, sort of group as CLC, with a cute, upbeat, bright kind of style of music. Their only difference is that their look is much more, like, I guess you can say, like, the way that you would look at it is it's really, really simple. Color-wise, it's kind of like desaturated, I guess you can say, where they don't go for so many bright and popping colors like CLC has, and that sets them apart differently, even though their music is kind of the same as well. Although I guess you can say that it's more like it's definitely is cute, it's definitely upbeat, but maybe it just is a bit more, lightweight and I guess dreamy in a way. Not really dreamy, but you know what I hope you understand what I mean. It's just like really, really, really light, and not very like super serious. Just kind of like fun and interesting, and a little bit like out there as far as the entire sound and concept of a lot of their music videos. And that's what sets them apart. Their debut in their first year that they've been around has been absolutely fantastic. Not only did they have a really good first 2 releases, then they overcame the scandal with Jisoo, which was just ridiculous and insane, and really threatened to destroy her career and possibly even affect the group as well. But they came over that. They had their first release as a full group, and that was really, really awesome. So I'm looking for, again, a really, really good bass, similar to CLC, a really good bass, hoping that they will build on that and give us something new, because they've done the same thing for since they debuted. And I think that it might be time to like evolve a little bit and bring us a different, like maybe it's a different visual style or a different, audio, sound, or genre, or whatever. Who specifically knows? GFriend is the next group that I have to, kick out, and that's, again, just like basically every other group. Like I said, they're all similar. The one difference that GFriend brings to the entire game and K-pop in general is that they have a bit of a 2009 sort of feel to it, and in fact, they got compared very, very heavily to Girls' Generation and their, I want to say that was their debut song or something like that. One of their first ever songs that they released a music video for, Into the New World, I believe is what it was called. And, that's a really, really strange comparison. I mean, it's not really strange. It definitely does have that, old sound and style to it, which I like. It's nice to bring a bit of the old stuff into the new, just similar to how I absolutely just loved Wonder Girls, because they brought, that 80s into modern day music, and that was really, really awesome. So GFriend bringing like probably one of the era, I guess you can say that now K-pop is a little bit of a down. The wave is going down. I guess you can say the Hallyu wave it's crested, and we're kind of like in the down portion of it. You might want to say that. So 2009, and that time when a lot of these groups were big, was the height of the Hallyu of this current wave, and GFriend is bringing that sound back just a little bit, but they're adding a bit of a more modern and updated kind of sound and feel to it, which is awesome, and I like that. So that's why I put them, like I said, it's not really a ranking, but this is why this was one of the final groups that I was considering to vote for, and it was really, really close between them and the group that I'm ultimately going to vote for, which is Oh My Girl. Now, Oh My Girl is, again, with their debut, just like every other group, come out with the typical, rookie girl group debut kind of style, cute, upbeat, bright, everything you want to look for. What was Cupid, I think was the name of their song, and it's good, not quite my cup of tea particularly, but it definitely was an enjoyable song, and it set them up to have a really good comeback, and it carve out their fan base for the people who like girl groups in general, and that whole style really appeals to them. They come back with their second album, Closer, their second release of the year, and Closer just absolutely blew me away, because I was expecting a similar sort of sound to their debut, or something a little bit around there, but they went with something completely different, took much more of a risk as far as making music that is not meant to appeal to a wide audience like their debut song was, but they went for something that was much more going to be much more narrowly appealing, and they absolutely nailed it. And I think that, I mean, it was a really, really awesome song. The song was fantastic. The album that went with it was really, really awesome. And just similar to their debut album, they had a really good promotion track for that, and then the music on the rest of the album also was very, very solid. So ultimately, Oh My Girl gets my vote basically because whereas every other group basically had the same exact releases since their debut, Oh My Girl made their debut and then they changed it up drastically for the sound and style of their music. So that is why I have to say that they have got my vote. Twice hasn't really had a chance to release much of anything, but the only downside to me is just how rough their how their debut could have used a little bit more polishing to get the finely cut diamond that I see is in that group. But they'll come for their next album, and they will have a really, really fantastic song, and they will definitely impress me. So there you go. Like I said, Oh My Girl has got my votes, as I said, because of their total change from their debut, which was really, really impressive, equally as good as their debut song. So I cannot really pass them up. Like I said at the beginning, all of these groups are really, really similar, really, really close as far as their quality. So honestly, any of these groups are deserving of a vote for Best Rookie Girl Group, and it honestly really kind of depends on who they are being stacked up against in their competition for the nominations of the categories. So, I mean, there you go. This was a difficult one, just like the Best Male Group was also difficult. So if you haven't watched any of the other videos in this series, I definitely suggest you check it out. I definitely will have a playlist for all of these. So if you want to check that out and just click on watch whichever ones you want to watch, that would be super awesome. So we'll be doing that, and then we're moving on in the next video to be the Best Rookie Boy Group. Of course, it's only natural that we would follow up with that. So, if you aren't subscribed already, then you definitely should, so that you do not miss that upcoming episode. Also, get connected with me on social media. I got links to my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and a bunch of others in the links down in the description box below. Also, leave a comment letting me know who you are going to vote for in this category, because I want to hear. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Just like less than half a month away, the videos for this series are definitely going to be coming out thick and fast, and they're going to be coming out very, very quickly. I'm going to try and cover just about every single category that I possibly can, or that I have much knowledge over and experience.